like you all believe in it, like you're all about it together. Because
we have a lot of conversations.
And a lot of yes, you can tell.
Yes.
You can tell, Janice, when people are like, I guess I have to say something, you know, and it's just not real to them. But clearly to each and every one of you, it's kind of like, you know, I can't say, well, my dad's faith, my dad's a pastor, so I'm going to heaven.
Right, exactly. Right.
So why did you start this awesome business? And by the way, this tie is going soon. I promise I'm getting it.
No problem.
But how did it start? Give us the story.
Okay, well, let's see. Very long time ago when my girls were little, I had a business up when we lived in Pennsylvania called Jumpers by Janice, back when my girls were little and it was just me. And I was, they were very young, underfoot, nursing babies, homeschooling, beginning of the trenches, and had a little business then. But obviously, as 10 children, as the children added and we had more responsibilities with schooling, I had to give up the business for several years during those middle years of raising children. So when we moved here 13 years ago, my daughter Emma, who's she's married, lives in Charleston. She wanted to get the sewing machine back out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I used to sew." And I kind of forgot had been such a long time because we got busy moving and such. So we got the machine out maybe 12 years ago or so, maybe a year after we moved here, and just started getting back into just making things. Well, for fun. And we were sewing so much, we were thinking, okay, well, now what do we do with this stuff that we're making? We have to get rid of it somehow. So we opened a little Etsy shop in 2013. And we had that for several years. I just closed that maybe 2 years ago because Martha likes to do photography and like photo editing and things like that, and web design. So she helped us start our own website and our own shop. So they overlapped for a little bit, and then we just weeded out the Etsy shop, and now we just have our online shop. But so we were just making skirts, linen ties. We were doing a lot of weddings, men's vests, neckties, bow ties for wedding parties and things. And then, you know, just little linens and towels, you know, hand towels and things like that, jewelry. And then in 2019, we were on a girls' vacation at the Outer Banks. That's how that kind of fits into our business. And we have been vacationing there for 36 years. Even when we lived in Pennsylvania, our kids have always gone to vacation there. So we were there on a girls' trip, and we just started talking about how skilled labor of any kind, construction, plumbing, sewing, of anything, is very hard to find on the island. So we're just chatting amongst ourselves and saying, I wonder if anybody down here needs what we do. I wonder if anybody needs uniforms or pant hems or skirt hems just done. Maybe we could help people out when we're here. So we put an ad on one Facebook page on the Outer Banks back in 2019 on that trip. Actually, we were still on the trip, and I thought, let me just put a little ditty out there on a page and see if anybody needs anything. Well, boy, did they ever. So
that was the beginning of an avalanche.
Exactly. So it just kind of, we really kind of fell into it. We realized there truly is a need. We have done work for hundreds of houses already since 2019, talking to homeowners, realtors, property managers, businesses. We've gotten to know business owners down on the Outer Banks just because we're there a lot, and we go into the tropical smoothie place, soup places, restaurants that we like to frequent. So we've just gotten to know a lot of folks there, and people are referring us to other people. So I do put a little ad a couple weeks before we're going to go again, but our customers advertise for us. So that's really been a blessing. And it's it really is a win-win. We've had people tell us down there that they don't know what they would do, because they live up north, a lot of them, and then they have their beach houses, rentals. They would have to haul all their cushions back up to where they live. They don't know who to find to do what we do. So it's just been a good.
Can I just add, there's been no paid advertising on our end, you know, right. It's all just relationships, face-to-face, talking to people, and personal referrals, which is a huge blessing. We really would have never imagined we'd be in the place we are in our business right now. 5 years ago, if you would have said we would have been doing upholstery, or Mom and Clara are the main, they had that up mainly, but we would have not believed you, because it was definitely not something our business was into. But it just blew up after that first little post Mom put out, and since then we've met such great people there on the island, and I've made many friends.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's awesome. It's amazing.
That
It's
is
funny,
awesome. So, oh, go ahead.
that's fine. We'll go into restaurants, just like, at the end of the day when we're all exhausted, and the waiter will come up to us like, "Oh, y'all are the sewing ladies. I've seen your ad on Facebook or whatever." So we've made a lot of different connections with, the waitresses and waiters and stuff. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Because on the island, they really do use like the Facebook and the social media more as like their local newspaper. That's how everybody knows when businesses are open or who's doing what and what's available, all up and down from Corolla all the way down to Hatteras Island. It's about a 2-hour span from the opposite end of the island, and we service people all up and down there. But it's just, yeah, it's been a blessing, really. We love it. And I tell everybody the best part for us is meeting the people that we meet. So, and they just say, "Can we tell our friend? Can we tell our neighbor?" I'm like, "Sure." So we've just been, expanding just by word of mouth, like Martha said. So
I tend to find when you're doing good work, it gets around,
Yes.
like if you help somebody out, they'll be like, "Hey, my buddy needs help with this," or "This family does." So clearly you're doing that. Now, here's a fun
Right.
question, because I love to
Sure.
hear how this happened. Keepers at Home. How'd that name come to be?
To be honest, I know we sat down and talked about a name, because like I said, years ago, it used to be called Jumpers by Janice, just because I was really into jumpers, the homeschooling mom
That's so
thing
cool.
with young kids. Everybody wore jean jumpers and sneakers, but the times had changed and my kids were getting older, and we were starting kind of a different business where we were adding other things. And so I think we talked about, if you all remember, we talked about a business name, what to call it. And we do believe that, it is our God-given right for the older women. I relied on a lot of older women when I was in the trenches with my kids being really young, just giving you that wisdom and insight and just gleaning from the older women that had wisdom. I had friends my own age, but, iron sharpens iron. And I like to talk to the older women, my mother, my grandmother, older ladies of the church and things like that. Because they've been there, they've walked in the shoes before and they've made the mistakes. I want to learn from them. So, so really, just based on Titus 2:3-5, that the older women are commanded to teach the younger women. So that's really how we got the name, and just decided that would be a good, appropriate name for a mother-daughter business. And so that's pretty much how we got